Hello and welcome to New Filmmakers Los Angeles in partnership with Movie Maker magazine. My name is Danny De Lillo and we're here at the Cambridge Los Angeles showroom in West Hollywood, and I'm here with Zack Ogle with his movie Death Has a Son. Let's take a look at a clip.
Natalie, it is your time.
No! I'll do anything!
Listen, lady, I got a lot more people to kill today.
You really think you have anything to say that they won't?
I'll you.
How could this happen? I thought we used protection. I was quite literally covered in plastic wrap.
Zack, it's a pleasure to have you here in the studio.
It's good to be here.
Tell us a brief synopsis of your film Death Has a Son.
It's about when Death finds out about an illegitimate son of his, and he has to deal with the consequences of that and kind of realize what it's like to be a father. Something that he never thought he'd have to do, you know.
And it's really, really funny. It's such a quirky idea. I love the style of comedy. And you wrote and directed this film.
Yeah.
Where did you come about the inspiration for the story?
I mean, the first thing that I had in mind was the puppets. I really wanted to use that in some way, and I love the idea of like a relationship that shouldn't exist, like people that they can't even touch. You know, the basics of just not being able to touch somebody, which is such you know, that's so important for a father-son relationship, and then just sort of built the story around that.
Now, the cast were absolutely brilliant. A real good trio you had there. Tell us a bit more about your casting process. How do you cast someone who has to play the character of Death?
Yeah, that was really, really hard, especially in, we filmed in Tallahassee, and so the acting pool especially is not really large. We had to go through, the film school, we do auditions every sort of semester, and had to go through a couple years of like databases just to find him. Actually, when I finally did find him, I asked him if he'd be okay with shaving his head, and he said that, yeah, sure, that's fine, but you have to know I look very skeletal. I said, you got it, you got the part.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it was perfect.
So he shaved his head for the role?
Yeah, I mean, he didn't have a lot to begin, but I probably shouldn't say that. Yeah, it was really, I was really lucky to find him because it was really important to find somebody who both had comedic timing and could get the more tender moments.
Yeah, which he certainly did.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen a really good live death character since Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, and I was reminiscing watching it and just enjoying it. Is kind of this style of comedy, because it had sort of dark comedic aspect to it, is that something that really interests you?
Yeah, that's pretty much most of what I write. I write probably way too much about death or people dying or hired assassins.
But in a very comedic way, though.
Yeah, yeah. I like to find the humor in places where there isn't any. That's what I strive to do in my work.
Now, you had a pretty good team working with you as well. How do you guys all come together?
Well, this was a thesis project, so we crewed up. We got to, for that one, you got to pick your crew. It was really great because when we were actually shooting it, I was living with my producer was my roommate, and his girlfriend at the time was the makeup and hair, and then Tori, who played Natalie, was my other roommate's girlfriend, so she was basically there all the time. And then when Tom, who plays Death, came in, he just took like a spare room. So pretty much everybody in the house was working on the film. You would just wake up and you just already, like somebody be rehearsing or they'd be planning out shots. It was really amazing just living in that sort of environment for a week or so. Yeah,
and also, I mean, it's amazing. This is your thesis film at Florida State University. Which did a fantastic job, and he's been traveling all around the country and the world now with this wonderful movie. But you did something that, you know, people are often worried about, which is you actually had, you had a child actor in your film as well. What was that experience like for you?
Well, I definitely, that was one of the things I really wanted to push and just try something. We definitely did a favor having him not say anything. And I think it works for the character. But yeah, it was definitely hard on him because he had never really done anything like that. He has just a naturally very expressive face, which was fantastic. But so it was a 3-day shoot, and as we went on, we had him do a little bit more just to kind of get his toes wet at first. He just did one shot the first day. Second day, it was a little bit more. Then the last day was all day outside, also in Tallahassee weather in the middle of summer, which was awful. In the middle of summer, yeah. Yeah, and he was just, his parents were there, and we just made a game out of it. That was really whenever he would get tired, I would just it would just be playing, and that made it fun, I think, for all of us.
Now, you're a writer and director. which is, it's always incredible to take on both of those roles, but nice to see your baby get put up onto the big screen, right? What would you say is your biggest challenge in making this film?
Making this film, besides getting, working with a kid, I guess just finding the right locations, because it does have a very distinct sort of look. So we just spent a long time driving around Tallahassee looking for. I needed, like, for Natalie's house, I needed a blue house with a red door, and I don't it was just so weird. And then we found that one, and then we had to. But the city is amazing with the group. They're so open with us. Like, so you just go around knocking on doors and tell them what you're about, and people just let you into their houses.
That's great. So they do that in Florida.
Yeah.
They wouldn't do that here, would
no,
they?
No, my God, no. Yeah, no, but and of course people don't know what that takes sometimes, and they get a little nervous when you see they're moving their furniture around. But then the school is amazing. Everybody there is really considerate, and we always put it back like the same or better than we found it. But I guess that was the biggest thing besides working with a kid. Honestly, I think that was the hard. It was very new for all of us really on the set. But he was a trooper, and his parents were really, really great.
So, you say this film has been traveling around so wonderfully. What was it like when your film officially got selected for NewFilmmakers Los Angeles?
I was really because I applied or submitted. Let me start over. I submitted a while back, and I got a call randomly like 2 months ago, just saying, "Hey, we're going through our things, and we found your film, and we'd really like to have you." It was really amazing, and this was such a really fun film festival. Like sometimes you feel like somebody just has a projector in their garage and set up without a box, but this was like really amazing. Everybody was super considerate. All the films were so fantastic. It was really great to be a part of it.
And I love that it's always great to get that audience response once you see your baby up there and like, oh wow, look, they all love it. It's all brilliant. Yeah. Now you've come you're originally from Philadelphia.
Yeah. And
you obviously went to school in Florida, and then you've moved here. How is that experience now as a writer-director living in Los Angeles?
It's been, kind of wild out here. It's a lot of just finding work where you can get it, and then you just have to make stuff, because nobody's just going to come around and be like, "Hey there, kid," like you should be the next Spielberg. No, so you just have to, pull yourself up by your bootstraps and do it. So I've been working with a couple really good friends. Filming little things here and there, like web content and stuff like that. Working on 2 web series right now, both in pre-production. You just have to do it.
And you've also traveled growing up quite a lot and lived in different places.
Yeah.
Do you think that's kind of had a good hand on you as a writer and director?
Yeah, I think it definitely. I've moved probably 13 times in my life.
13? I thought I was the only one.
Yeah. No, everybody always asks if you're like an army brat or something.
Yeah.
No. So it's been good. It definitely, I think, helps you slip into other people's minds a little easier, I think. You get a lot of different perspectives here and there. I lived in part-time in Paris for a little while too, so it's just been all that you get.
That beautiful city.
It was amazing. Yeah. It was for 2 years. I would go. My mom lived up there. I would visit maybe 3 or 4 times a year. It was incredible. Yeah. So you do get a lot of different influences from different places where you go. So
now you're here, and you're living in Los Angeles, and you're going through the experience now of living as a filmmaker in Los Angeles. Real dying to know what is next for you.
What's next? I've been writing a few pilots, feature lengths, and just kind of shopping those. Well, not really shopping. I've been sending those out to screenplay contests, just seeing what happens. And working on a web series with a bunch of FSU alums. There's a whole mafia of us out here. It's crazy.
I love it.
Yeah. And it's going to be really fun. It's another comedy. It's about a guy who's kind of searching for a purpose, and he finds it in following his friends around with a camera and just annoying the crap out of them.
Oh, great.
So he becomes basically like a nature documentarian, but with all of his friends, and just being extremely nosy and getting in their lives.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. So it's going to be really, really fun. And the other thing is a Hardy Boys show, actually. It's just going to be a fun, goofy web series about, the Hardy Boys that we know and love, except now they're more vain and just kind of assholes, honestly. Yeah.
Oh, well, listen, congratulations on your film, Death as a Son.
So
we all really enjoyed it, and we're all very excited to be able to follow your career as you explore into the ventures of Hollywood.
Thanks so much. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, Zach.